Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new video. Um, this is Yunus with ARC Automation Consulting. I am very delighted today to share with you some good news and to answer the question, can we use MySQL server to communicate with an A-B PLC like ControlLogix or CompactLogix with no middleman in between, whether that's a piece of software or a piece of hardware. Um, and up to recently, that the answer to that question was simply no. You had to have some sort of middleware. However, starting from today, that's not the case anymore. And yes, we can use MySQL to communicate directly and middleware free with the Allen-Bradley PLC. And with that being said, we had a tremendous struggle and challenges that I would like to take a bit of time to share with you so you understand a bit of the complexity and the hurdle that we went through. So one of the challenges we basically faced was the way that MySQL authenticate. So in the MySQL world, there are what we call authentication plugins, and various setup uses various plugins. But for our purpose and for this version that we are releasing, we support the SHA-1 algorithm, which is essentially a 160-bit algorithm or hashed value that MySQL uses to authenticate its client versus the server to allow you to communicate with the server. And we also support SHA-2, which is the next generation of the cryptography that's used as well in MySQL or MySQL. And that's, that generation, it's even more complex. And of course, because of that, it is more secure, and it is the default plugin that MySQL uses. So answer to the question is yes, today we can. Yesterday we couldn't. So that's the good news. And throughout this video, we will, walk through what this new library can do for us, how to set it up, how to use it, what kind of features it has and available, and so forth. But at the beginning, I would like really to take a couple minutes just to share with you, about the authentication and the algorithms and how did we, overcome such a challenge so we can get to where we are today. So as I mentioned, to authenticate for a client to authenticate with MySQL, you can use SHA-1 or the default one, SHA-2, and I'll explain why why we have the two and we are supporting the two. So at the beginning, when we try to develop this product and and see how far we can get, we started basically developing an add-on instruction that's going to do basically the cryptography for us. So, and if you're not, if you're not familiar with, the SHA-2 or 1, or like we even have the third generation nowadays, which is a 512-bit algorithm. It essentially, the high-level idea is you will give this algorithm an input, and the algorithm will take it, and then it will hash it and spit out, for example, the SHA-256 will spit out a hashed value of 256 bits. And the reason we do that, it's simply so if somebody hacked to our system, that value is basically encrypted, is hashed. So it's almost impossible to figure out what's the password, or what that was input that we put in. And that's not the only challenge. And as we will see here in the video, when you try to connect with the MySQL, so on top of this, hashing and all that, and to make that password protection is even more secure, the server uses something, what we call salt. So the concept of salt, so I mean, you can look it up, but the high level of the concept is, so we're not only just hashing that input, but we will hash that, and then we will also hash that input with this salt, which is essentially a key that the server will give us. So the server will give you a key, and the combination of that and the password will get all hashed, and then go through another algorithm to spit out basically a 256-bit password, or hashed password. And that's what you're going to provide to the server to say, hey, I am user XY, here is my password, here are my capabilities, can I log in, can I connect? So we went through that struggle, and then I will share with you some of that struggle. So I'll just jump here into the PLC, and as we can see here, this is the add-on instruction, called it the crypt SHA-256. So because of these challenges, this was born. So we can use it with our library to allow us to do these kind of things. So just to show you how this works, very, from a high level. So let's say, I'm just pulling this up. So in here we have an input and basically the output. So this is what you will put in, this is what you will get back. So in here, for example, I have here password as my input, and this is what you get. Now, just to show you, compare it to, this is a this is a site that you can look it up if you want to test certain encryptions and things like that. It's really good for that. So for example, here we have password, and this is the output in hex, so 32 basically bytes, or 256 bits. And this is what we have here in the PLC. So to compare, in here it's in ASCII, so it's not going to look the same. So if I go here, so this is my hash. I'm just going to filter it here so we can see it better. My hash. Oh, hashed. Okay, hashed value. There we go. So if I go here now, I'm gonna take this out of the. If I go here and I go to my data, and you can see here I'm showing it in hex. And if you look here, you can see 5E88, 48, and so forth, all the way to byte 31, D8, D8. So let's say if I put something else, input 1, 2, 3, for instance. So we can see here that we have a different hash code. Now if I go to my PLC and do the same thing, so I'm just going to put the same inputs 1, 2, 3, apply, and you can see here we got the same output 2F, A9, 2F, A9, all the way to CC, and you can stop the video and you can look at these numbers and these numbers. But that's briefly how that works, and we have the same thing for the SHA-1, which is 160-bit or 20 byte. We have another add-on instruction that we are using for the purpose of the authentication within MySQL. So hopefully I wasn't too long in this introduction, but we're really excited to show you guys what we achieved and what we got available now that wasn't previously available or possible. All right, so great. So what's in this library? What's included? Essentially, these are the add-on instructions available in this library. So if you are familiar with our previous library or offering for Microsoft SQL, this is very, very similar, except there are some extra add-on instructions, as you can see here. Like, for example, these ones here we just kind of mentioned about to allow us for the authentication and so forth. And we'll see how that works here in a little bit. And then, the rest, if you're familiar with that library, they are very, very similar, except we're communicating to a different database in this case. So that's from the PLC side. We also have the user manual, of course. So that will come with the library. So essentially, the user manual allow you to see how things can be set up and features and what's supported and that type of stuff. So pretty straightforward. Okay, so now that we have a good idea from a high level standpoint on the library and stuff, obviously we want to know or see how this thing works and what can we do with it, right? So before we just jump to that, I will just give you kind of an idea on how the MySQL is set up and what I have there. So as we're doing stuff here in the PLC, things will make sense. So this is the table I have in the database. So we have this data here. So we're going to see how we can manipulate this data as now we logged into the server successfully. All right. So the first function we're going to play with is the update or update query. So we're going to perform an update query on that table and see how it goes. So again, the update UI, it's very similar to the SQL update for the Microsoft server. Setting, it's exactly the same, and the features and so forth. So database, table, column count, values, and the work condition if you need that as well. So I did have this step already set up. So I'm just gonna go to the first on here, I have here my SQL update. So what I'm expecting is I will see that in this table. So this will change basically to the new value. So this says test MySQL 10. So I'm going to go here to the where condition, and I'm going to do that here as 10. Okay, apply. And just going to toggle that for a second. Put that to 0. And now I'm going to execute. And you can see it's done. If I go now to the server and query this again, you can see this is all changed to my SQL update. So it's really as simple as that. All right, so that's for the updates, without going into too much details. The next one is we're going to touch on is the deletes. Okay, so again, the UI looks the same as the previous library. The same features set up. So you need the database table, and then you can have the where condition. So the first attempt, I'm going to put a where condition, because if we don't, we're going to delete everything. So I'm going to say here MySQL updates. In fact, even if we put a condition now, because this is all the same, it's going to have the same effect. So it doesn't really matter. So I can just leave it actually, empty, because it's going to have the same effect. Okay, so we're going to delete all the data in this table. I'm going to toggle this. It says it's done. Let's see if it's actually done. Yeah, sure enough, it's done, and the table is empty now. All right, so that's the delete. It's very powerful, and you have to use it with caution. Next is inserts. Okay, so the insert again looks very similar. It's actually exactly the same, has the same features and configuration. So database table column names. Now we're going to leave this column names empty. That means we want to log to the entire table, so we don't have to even specify these names if we do that. And then we have 5 for the columns, and then the values. So the first value I just have here hello world, so it can put that, and then 111 for an integer. Next one is a real, so I just put 256, and then this is a boolean, so just 1, and lastly is a date and time, so I just have like today date, and that's it. Hit apply, say OK, and I'm just going to toggle this for a sec, and then we say reset this counter, and then as you see, we toggled it and it says it's done. So now let's check if we got, here we go, here is your values, and it's as simple as that. If we just reset this, it's going to say it's done, and you can see here it's like it's instantaneous, like it didn't even blink. But if I go here, it's going to find the second one right there. Here's the second record, and so forth. So now we are logged into MySQL database. Pretty cool. All right, so next we are going to do a select. So again, it's same configuration you need to do like the one for the Microsoft SQL database. It has the same features and so forth. So for right now, we're just going to say we're going to read everything in that table that we have. So we just put here an asterisk. The column count, we have 5. And then the names, we don't even have to specify anything here when we use this special select. So I can actually delete this, okay, just to show you. And this selected, like, it's very powerful. It uses, lots of functions like average, distinct, cast, and all those kind of things. And of course the where conditions and more. So you can put any condition here. Okay, so so we have that set up. And the other thing I want to show you, so this is where we get the results. Right now we have some stuff from previous queries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that stuff. So I'm just going to enable this. It's empty the table, and we can see it here just to show you. So everything is empty. We have the columns, the same structure, like the other one, all the same. You can see here we got nothing, and rows, nothing, empty. Column 5, nothing in there. Column 4, nothing in there, and so forth. So it's empty. Okay, so now if we go and say, okay, we want to execute this, so you can see it executed very, very fast. Now, if we go to the UI before we go to the MySQL server, so you can see here we have column count 5, we have rows 2, and then it also give you the bytes. Now, if we expand here to see if we read the data, so it certainly read the values for us. So it is tag 1 for column 0. And it actually gives us the data type as 3, which is a string. But not only that, because it's a string, it will give you the type of the string. So in this case, it's 2, which is var, which is true. And then here it's 50, which is also true. It tells you the amount of characters you can have. And then in the rows, we're going to find, here it is, hello world in the string. And also row number 2, hello world, and row number 3, it's nothing in there because we just have 2 rows. So that's pretty cool. We can check the column number 1. Again, tag 2. In this case, data type is 1 because it's an integer, and it also shows you the allow nulls, whether it's you can have a null or not, as you can see here. And then if we go to the rows, it's going to show me the values. Here is 1111 that we saw earlier. So it's as simple as that. So that's the the select. There's obviously lots more features, more details. I won't get into too much into that. In fact, pretty much all those features and why not, they're covered in the previous library anyway, and in here they're exactly the same. Okay, the next one is the SQL, MySQL custom. Okay, so again, it looks the same as the one we use for the Microsoft SQL Server. It has the same config parameter, which is essentially just a string where you put your query. And you can put any query. Like right now, we're going to call the stored procedure to insert some values to our table. But you can do insert, you can do select, you can do anything. Right now we have 8,000 characters, which is quite large, but you can even go higher than that. Like if we negotiate, like go into the max with the server, like up to 16,000 characters. Okay, so let's execute this and see how that's going to work. So I'm going to reset this, and I'm going to just trigger the command. And you can see here it's done. So we're going to check our MySQL server to see if we have a new record here. And sure enough, here it is. We have a new record. We can, play with this a little bit more. So if I go back here and maybe change this to maybe sensor B, for example, I do this and reset my counter here, and then trigger the command again. You can see here it's done. If I execute here, and you can see the value is inside our database. So the SQL custom, it's very powerful one that can allow you to basically do any query you would like to execute. All right, folks, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video and you find the information here very useful. And if you have any comments or questions, we would like to hear from you. Until then, enjoy your day and thank you for watching.